Welcome everyone to the introduction video. A special welcome to the successful ones who knew where to start, and a welcome to the ones who finally made it here. This strategy developed for leadership development, something you'll be seeing very soon, may not be what you're commonly used to. It's a special approach that I've been implementing for a few years now that has been proven to be successful in developing leaders who are self-sufficient, meaning they will not need constant checkups. They won't need babysitting. You can trust them. They're reliable. So now you're here at this specific video. I want to ask you, how can anyone begin to learn when they don't know even where to start? Sure, you can dive in and pick up what you can along the way, but we both know that your time is better spent knowing the rules before the game. So you, the successful person who came here first, you'll be set up way ahead of those who decided to just jump in late. That's who I want to address, you all. And I felt it's incumbent that I provide you an explanation to personally introduce to you the important development content for what you need to know. Disclaimers, and whatever follows prior to diving into these unique leadership lessons. The main principle I put here is combining Eastern principles with Western strategies to bring you the best in leadership development. Now, I'm going to be real with you. That, of course, is just commercial. That's just a slogan and advertisement gimmick. But nonetheless, it is true. So I ask you, what do you think this entails? Before the video continues playing, for the clever listeners, what about the two, East and West, did you think I used to make these lessons? Now, I want you and whoever you're sharing this with to learn and be able to comprehend and fully digest the content. So, understand, this will cover leadership essentials designed for you to develop yourself, specifically through this unique approach that I've brought together. And the main 3 steps involved are, number 1, building your foundation, your belief, your iman. Number 2, individual self-development. And lastly, organization development, which of course in a few years I simply put it all together as leadership development. And yes, this does take most of the Eastern principle from my previous Muslim leadership development program that I've been running for a few years in the past. However, I want to make this very clear. This is for anyone. You don't have to be Muslim to benefit and learn. However, if you're listening right now as a Muslim, then I put an extra degree of condition upon you that you take this with commitment and discipline. Because you and I, we both know whatever knowledge that is gained, you will be held accountable. So act upon what you know. True knowledge is acting upon information that is learned. So you're not some hollow clay shell. It's not enough that you just sit and listen. Act. Now, the sources of information are from readings and experience, working in many organizations made up from different frameworks and different backgrounds and beliefs, from sports team, fraternal groups, dawah groups, and a few years of experience working with many institutions and organizations, specifically in leadership development. And here I put together methods I learned that are the most optimal in leadership development through the success and failures from a combination of diverse sources. I will say that these contents are what I found to be the most successful for those who reside in the West. However, with globalization and this sort of global network that we're all living in, I wouldn't be surprised for these principles and methods to be mimicked into different regions, not just specific to the West. With some disclaimers, I must highlight 3 important headlines. Number 1, this content is for relationship to leadership development. Yes, some content I have it approved through trustworthy people of knowledge, but if you're here to learn about the deen, then you're better off going somewhere else. I'm not qualified, nor would I hold myself accountable to teach you these things. Yes, Islamic pretext is a critical component in our discussion, of course, of Eastern traditions, but the study of its context, the fiqh rulings, and application is upon yourself. Next, if I make mistakes, by all means correct me. open the discussion. I want these conversations to start taking place. And lastly, the final disclaimer is I will not be discussing politics irrelevant to our nature. No debates on leaders, countries, groups, nor organizations. That's not what I'm intending to do. The true purpose in terms of the content, aside from research, is self-development, leadership development, and organizational development. And this is done through studying history and people. However, it's not my place to discuss anything beyond my existing content that you'll be seeing here. So look, these are a reminder for myself and for all of those of you guys listening in. This doesn't mean one of us is above the other. And this topic in of itself of leadership development is severely lacking, specifically amongst our community. And I mentioned this content is based from applying and observing knowledge. So whatever I say that is correct in khair, whatever that is mentioned that is incorrect, then forgive me. And let that mistake serve in sparking a fruitful discussion on the topics in the preceding content. And that is the true purpose of this initiative. Restructuring how we apply leadership development. And as I always say to all my students and audience, if at any point you feel that I'm attacking you, know that it's coming from a place of sincere advice, nasiha. And if you do feel that way, then just take that as a reminder for yourself. As always, every good and benefit that is presented is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever wrong is for myself, inshallah, you will benefit.
لو سمحت السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياك الله. طريق الجنة وين يا أخي؟ طريق الجنة طريق الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. طريق الصحابة. طريق الإيمان. طريق الصلاة. طريق القرآن. طريق التوبة. طريق الهداية. هذا طريق الجنة. جزاك الله خير.